30 seconds and counting.
Hey, what's good, guys? It's Clutch City Entertainment here, back to another video. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Houston Texans. And there was just some recent news that came up on Twitter a little bit ago. According to Jeremy Fowler on Twitter, the Houston Texans are not necessarily looking to move on from Lonnie Johnson or Shaq Lawson, but they're in some talks from, like, I guess around the league. Like, multiple teams, I'm sure, are probably interested in trading for either one of them. So, I'm just going to be talking about over what I think we could get from them and if I think we end up trading them. So, first off, I'm going to start off with Shaq Lawson. Shaq Lawson, the type of player he is, he's always been a type of guy that's going to do his job. Like, he's not going to over-exceed or he's not going to underperform. He's always just going to be like an average type of guy. He's going to get you some tackles. He's going to get you a couple sacks. He's going to just make some plays here and there. I wouldn't necessarily look to move forward from Shaq Lawson, but if you look at our D-line, we have a ton of depth. From the pass rushing spot to the D-tackle spot to the run stuffing spot. We have a bunch of depth everywhere. And I think we've seen it throughout the preseason. And we have so much depth that Shaq Lawson has even ended up playing in the third and fourth quarter, where the third and fourth quarter is mainly like for the backups and like the third stringers and even fourth stringers. And that's where Shaq Lawson's been playing. So, seeing him play in those areas of the game in the third and fourth quarter, that's not looking too well for him. So, if there is one player that is likely to be traded, I believe it is Shaq Lawson. I wouldn't be against it, but I'm not for it. If we could get maybe a fifth round, realistically, we're probably going to be getting a sixth or fifth round pick for Shaq Lawson. And I really wouldn't be too upset about that. A fifth round pick for a guy who probably would have been cut, in my opinion. I believe he saves you, $2 or $3 million or something like that. I think we did a contract restructure, so I'm not sure there's guaranteed money left or how that works, but I think we would be saving around $3 million. So getting a fifth round pick for a guy that's really not even going to make the team or potentially not even make the team. Obviously, I want him too. I really like Shaq Lawson as a player, but just in preseason, we haven't seen enough from him. I haven't really seen too much in camp either. For Shaq Lawson to be the type of player that I thought he was, and that I know he is, that we've seen from Miami and Buffalo, he hasn't really shown it during preseason or training camp. So, yeah. And then now I'm going to talk about Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson is a very difficult player to talk about. He's very inconsistent. I'm not really sure. Actually, I'm not sure if inconsistent is the right word. He just hasn't made enough plays. He's been fairly average for us, I would say. He hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been good. He's just done his job, I guess. In the safety spot, you're not really going to be making too many mistakes. You're just going to have to be able to make the tackles and play your right coverage. Play the coverage that you're, set or designated to be covering. And Lonnie Johnson, he's somewhat done his job. He hasn't been terrible. But, Lonnie Johnson, if we were to trade him, I would hate having to trade him, but I would want a second-round pick. We drafted him in the second round, so I would want a second-round pick. But is that going to happen? Is that realistic? I kind of doubt it. The highest pick I think we could get for Lonnie Johnson Jr. is probably maybe if a team is very, very desperate for a pretty younger safety, maybe a fourth-round pick. Maybe a third, maybe, possibly. But realistically, I would say a fourth to a fifth-round pick. And if that was the case, if that's the trade that it would be Lonnie Johnson for either a fourth or a fifth, I don't think I would do it. I still wouldn't do it. Lonnie Johnson still has the potential to become at least a top 10 safety in this league. We've seen it over the preseason. We've seen it during training camp. He's been making a ton of plays throughout these preseason games and training camp. And to move on from him for just a fourth or a fifth, I would hate that. But on the other hand, if we could manage to get a second-round pick, then, I'm all for it. But that's probably not going to be the case. So as of right now, these are just speculation/rumors. There hasn't been anything concrete about it. And I don't think it was leaked on the Texans side of things. I think it was leaked maybe through the players' agents. So maybe it's them just saying they want more playing time or something like that, but I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know what y'all guys think we could get for Lonnie Johnson and Shaq Lawson, and if y'all would like to see us trade any other players, or maybe even trade for any other players. I know that there's a couple of guys on the trade block right now. For example, not saying that we would or should trade for any of these guys, but I think Stephon Gilmore's on the trade block. I can't really think of too many off the top of my head right now, but there's a ton of players in the trade block currently, and there's gonna be a ton of guys that are gonna get cut going through the upcoming week with the 53-man deadline coming up. But yeah, again, let me know what y'all guys think we should or would get for Lonnie Johnson and Shaq Lawson. I'm sorry. And yeah, Clutch City Entertainment out. Peace.